Alright guys, sorry for the slight drop on the stream there. We were just changing streamers. Hello, my name is Soul the Demon. I will be restreaming mostly through this until, at least until George comes up here soon, so it should be just for the next few runs. But I do want to let my little reminder to everyone that this is No Glitches Allowed. We are raising money for Go Rescue, no kill shelter that helps homeless dogs recover and find new homes. So, you know, if you like, hey, I love dogs, I love animals, you know, I would love to help this cause. Use exclamation point donate, exclamation point incentive, just like I did here in the chat. You can check out all the donate, like you can donate, you know, simple as $1, really helps out. We're barely getting close to the end of the marathon, not too very close to the end, to our goal. So if we could at least make that, that'd be great. I mean, if we don't, it's not that big of a deal. But we will be trying to push that quite a bit, so we can try to at least try to make that goal. With that, we do have upcoming here. We do have Raichu, who was our previous free streamer. He is going to be running some Metal Gear Solid 3, so you guys get hyped for that. I'll let you guys get back to the music here, and we'll get on with the run.
dass es in Zukunft zu einer Bedrohung kommt. Nach 100 Jahren ist der Böse wieder auferstanden. Der Herr des Bösen, Graf Dracula, ist auferstanden.
silence through the night. What a thrill.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I was just making sure I was actually live. The stream took a while to update. I am RaichuMGS, but Raichu is fine. And I'm going to run MGS3 on European Extreme on New Game. I will try to get Fox Sound, but that's a big task. So yeah, go with New Game. I'm gonna play it for the first time, and on European Extreme. So we'll start time in 3, 2, 1, now. If you're in any way familiar with Metal Gear Solid, you're probably quite aware that there's a lot of cutscenes, a lot of codecs, radio calls, and things like that. Exposition is a big deal for Mr. Kajumbo. But we skip all of that because it's slow. So a lot of casual players, some really die-hard casuals, hate speedrunners because we're ruining the game, apparently. But anyway, our first mission is grab our backpack. One thing you might notice is I changed from this camera to this one. This fixed camera here is like largely regarded as a worse camera, but in speedruns it's a lot nicer to use, in my opinion. It gives us consistent visual cues, and it means we don't have to try and control the camera while we handle Snake. Movement in MGS3 is pretty massive. It's pretty important. So again, we're just making our way. So this is basically a little prologue, I guess you could call it. It's the Virtuous mission. A sort of prologue kind of a thing, as I say. So it's kind of quiet, not a whole lot going on right now. It's just basically just movement. I'm rolling up hills and inclines because it's faster. Later on we'll get an item that helps us with that, but for now we use our movement, our tech. So this area is the first area where we'll have actual people to deal with. Some cutscenes and radio calls and the usual. That usual Metal Gear Solid stuff. So those guys, I basically just spammed them. This last guy here, I got lucky. I got a headshot in third person. It's kind of random, and I thought I missed it at first, so I went to go and headshot him in first person, but I got it. We're gonna bump roll into this card. Snake's hitbox on his rolls are ridiculous. They're like, you hit them from like a mile away. Again, trank roll this guy. We'll spam these guys. We're going to take a warning shot here to make this guy scared. Because when they're scared and go into caution, they can't hear your footsteps. So it's just a quick way of running around behind them. Unfortunately, the bridge strat didn't go quite as planned, so I had to stand in place for a second. Now we're into the last screen of this mission. To do this, we're going to take a quick headshot. Going to roll up the incline. 2 quick shots to that guy. You can't see him, but he's there. He's asleep now. And we're going to roll into this guy and knock him out. And into the loading zone. Or into the trigger for a cutscene. So that's basically the Virtuous mission finished. It's just a lot of cutscenes and stuff from here. So I don't know what Snake has done, or Sokolov, one of them. He told me he was just a scientist, but apparently he's a massive bully. So we're just making our way back a little bit, some more cutscenes and stuff, but There's not a whole lot going on. It's very quiet for the moment. So Snake has been thrown off a bridge here. Rip Snake. He's not dead though, but he is broke up pretty badly. So we're gonna have to heal him. And this is just pretty much learning the menus, more or less. There's not much there. And more cutscenes and codecs. Fortunately, after this batch here, so from now, it's fairly minimalist. We won't be getting them quite as frequently as we were up to now. And I see on a timer, because the stream is a little behind me, it was a sub 5 Virtuous mission, which is very nice. Sub 5 minutes is always good. Okay, so again, we're finding our way. So it's very much like the Virtuous mission here. The first 2 screens are empty, I guess. There's no guards. But now we have guards to deal with after this cutscene. And I kind of made a liar of myself because I said the cutscenes and stuff are less. Well, actually, they're quite the same up until the Ocelot unit. So we're going to roll here. This is a really precise set of movement. We need to grab those guys' attention, get around this corner, and we're going to pull the pin on this grenade to silence our footsteps. That's not a glitch. It's an abuse of mechanics. Prove it's not. Well, that's one of the hardest rooms in the game. So here we have the next hardest room in the game. Dolly di Vodno. This is again really precise movement. I'm gonna have to wait 1 second and we'll get on the bridge. And you have no idea how nervous I was just there because I thought I rolled too late. But we're here the first two really tricky parts of the run. Yeah, there'll be no glitches slow, I promise. There is a glitch I could use. It's the vent glitch, but I'm not going to use it because that's cheating. This marathon forbids glitches, and it only saves like a second anyway, so I don't really care. Unfortunately, the HC collection doesn't have a terrible amount of skips and glitches that we can use. The PS2 has a lot more, and some new ones that have just been found recently, but the HTC is a bit too the HC collection unfortunately doesn't have a whole lot. So for this fight here, I'm probably going to be pretty much silent because it's a hard fight and I need to concentrate, but I'll let you kind of see everything as it happens. Important thing to mention is I have to shoot that guy in the body. I can headshot him, so that wasn't a miss. Another thing of note is I can't miss any of my shots here because it will cause an alert. I'll get seen.
Let's go take a look.
So I'm going to peek around this corner. Now if I miss a shot, it's not as detrimental. It won't cause an alert. So earlier here with the sniper, he's like telepathy. Okay, perfect. Snake, please. So that was pretty much perfect. So the sniper has telepathy or something, and he can like, if I miss a shot on a guard, like I hit the wall behind them or something, they get scared, and the sniper just immediately knows where I am and comes to that location. And will cause me all sorts of trouble. Anyway, into our backpack, and we're going to get the bug juice and the cardboard box. The box in this game is completely overpowered for a variety of reasons. The main one I did allude to earlier was when I go up hills and inclines, or slopes and inclines, my movement speed is fixed, and it's faster than without the box. So I get a faster movement speed. That's the main benefit. The other one is the guard's AI kind of doesn't really know how to deal with the box, so it definitely messes with their like reactions and stuff. That's pretty nice. So I'm just gonna grab some supplies. We got our box on our previous menu, so we don't need that bug juice anymore. We only ever needed the one. Big lunch. Only one box required, please. And we'll get moving along here, as we are. Excuse me. So this area is pretty tricky. It's very cycle based, so I need to be quite fast through here and not waste too much time. I'm going to take a shot here to get a dog to bark. That attracts the enemy. I take one step forward and drop down. The electric fence pushes me through. Again, I'll show off what I was just talking about with enemy eye abuse. So the box reduced our camouflage enough that he saw us. And of course, please donate to save puppies, such as that puppy there. Your donations are keeping those dogs happy and healthy. Snake won't hurt the dogs, and neither should you. So I'm going to shoot this guy. I'm going to demonstrate again how a caution and being scared makes them react, so he just completely ignores me. And we come to our first, technically our first boss, Ocelot. So Ocelot, we're going to try and loop him. I'm going to shoot him once, throw a stun, shoot into the background. So he's an idiot and ran away. Damn it. Okay. Not a great Ocelot. He ran away like near the end, which is typical. But we got through him anyway. I'll apologize in advance if you actually can't see what's going on right now, because the caves are pretty dark. But I can see just fine because my monitor brightness is up high enough. Excuse me. So that was Ocelot. A lot of this stuff is kind of tricky to explain. It's more like, it's a lot of like visuals, I guess, so you can see what I'm doing. Why he ran away at the end, I'm not sure. I think it's because I shot him too quickly. I did the fight too good. Or indeed, I could have been too slow. I really don't know. Ocelot's a weird boss. So I'm gonna grab some ammo. Just there. That's all I need. We're pretty much max capacity. And again, I was using the box just there to avoid the slopes and inclines. Here it's not as necessary because there's only a couple. The time lost from equipping the box and unequipping it will be more than the time I lose from the small few slopes that are here. I'm gonna grab my smokes. I'm gonna menu wrong. Press the wrong button. I'm gonna get rid of the directional mic and put in smokes and grenades. Also, before I trigger this fight, or as I trigger it rather, I'm gonna roll in, and I picked up a life medicine because I might need that later if things go awry on me. So this fight, I want to throw a smoke immediately. Basically the objective is just shoot the pain in the head a bunch of times. The unfortunate part is his hitbox for his head is really weird. And it's like from his nose to his mouth, or his chin. So if you hit like the top of his head, it just won't register as a hit. which is very frustrating, as I just demonstrated there. Yeah, I expected that to happen. So I missed 1 or 2 hits because his hitbox is weird, and I had to throw an extra grenade. If everything went to plan, he would have never gotten his B shield back up that last time, but it's fine. I don't want to be a liar and say, yeah, that was perfect, when it was just about good enough. A little bit suboptimal, but it's not a big deal. So here is just run, run, run. Run, run, run. I guess I'll try and think of something to talk about. Yes, Sloa gave me talking point. So in the game's like timeline, MGS3 was obviously the what was it, the fifth game in the like Metal Gear series of games that are considered Metal Gear games. That would be Metal Gear 1, Metal Gear 2 on the MSX, MGS 1, MGS 2, and obviously MGS 3. But as far as the story timeline goes, MGS 3 is the first. It's the origin story, I guess. Of Big Boss and all of that stuff. And it's kind of an interesting look at Big Boss before he was considered a bad guy. And of course Kojima afterwards tried to write Big Boss as not so much of a villain, rather he was misunderstood. Which I think is sad, honestly. Kind of stupid. You can tell he was running out of ideas, so. But anyway, we're swimming right now. It's a surface again. While swimming through this river, I have to take fairly specific movement so I don't get spotted by those searchlights. Because my camouflage is good enough to not get seen as long as I don't swim right underneath them. But yeah, here's another quick headshot. Snake, please fire your gun. Shoot that barrel, shoot that barrel. Those don't count as kills against my Foxhound rank, were I to achieve Foxhound. But they serve a dual purpose in that I got rid of the guards on the dock and I damaged the end. I hurt him a bit. So both of those are good things. I'm going to resupply a little bit because it's quiet and I have the time. I'm going to head into the warehouse. The warehouse is regarded, honestly, by most runners as one of the hardest areas in the game. It's pretty tricky, and it's very straightforward to get it to continue. So I'm going to be pretty quiet and just concentrate.
What happened?
It's a lot of precise movement.
What's wrong?
And well-timed rolls. And I don't think I mentioned that Snake's... I think I might have mentioned. The Snake's hitbox on his roll is pretty broken. So you can roll into a guard several steps away from him and still hit him. And while it's kind of broken, it's very useful for the run. Because it can let you do things like I just did in the warehouse. And there's various other strats that we use it for as well. We're gonna go meet Granon. Yeah, like the Metal Gear Solid series has, it's objectively, it does not care about that fourth wall, you know. From things like, it's funny because it'll talk about your hardware and your soft, like it knows it's a game and it doesn't try to hide that like a lot of games do. You know, like you have MGS2, you have the kernel telling you to turn off the game console. You have them referring to buttons on your controller. You have Psycho Mantis literally reading your memory card right in front of you. You know, they don't care. And it's almost endearing in a way because other games are like afraid to do that. They want you as immersed as possible. You know, they can't ever let on that it's a video game, and it helps get away with a lot of the silliness that happens because this game is very silly in its own right. Like Like, Snake is now dressed as a scientist, running around in front of Soviet soldiers who work with these scientists daily, and they don't bat an eyelid towards him. I mean, does he look like a scientist to you? Maybe he does, but let's go and see an actual scientist. And we'll get really up close with one of them now. That's a scientist. Do I look like
What do
him?
you think you're doing?
Do I look like that guy? No, I don't. It's like, you know, it's so silly. Because you wouldn't get away with that in like Splinter Cell or whatever. That's why Metal Gear is great. I think I boxed too early. No, I'm okay. Anyway, we're going to pick up a SIG spray. This is a tranquilizer weapon. That's the ply roll. The plywood roll. Saves like a second. I don't need the other camera, never mind. So yeah, we've met with Grannon. We've learned what we need to know. And now we're out here. Look at him, you can clearly see the radio in his ear as well. It's like it's the weakest disguise I've ever seen. I also love how they give him the glasses. That just completes it for me, honestly. Like, the glasses just add legitimately to his outfit. But anyway. So we kind of duped that guy a little bit by getting him to see us as a scientist, and then we change into our animals camo. He therefore is focused on the fact that he saw a scientist running away and kind of ignores that Snake's in animals camo. So here I'm going to use a pretty risky strap, but why not? Cause a caution real quick. Shoot that guy twice and he'll go to sleep. Night night. That's another thing about this game that's hilarious. When guards fall asleep on the spot because